I'm going to teach you one easy Tai Chi and Qigong form for stress management that will work for you every time. This Tai Chi Chuan or Qigong form is called ward off. This one movement will calm the mind, make you mentally strong, decrease anxiety, and allow you to relieve stress in a healthy way. You will gain additional Tai Chi benefits such as good posture, great body mechanics, lowered cortisol from belly breathing. You will become mentally strong, allowing things that would wind you up before to roll off easily without putting you in that autonomic nervous system flight or fight response. You will even sleep better. Are you ready? All right. Well, first I'm going to teach you the physical movement. I will teach you several deeper levels. I will teach you how to engage in this Tai Chi and Qigong movement without moving your body. Instead, simply through a mind-body connection, and can do it anywhere, anytime. All right, you ready to harness that stress and get rid of it? Let's do it. So sitting down a little bit and just rest your arms as if you're resting them on a table. And then you're going to rotate your body to the right and ward off to the right. And rotate your body to the left and ward off to the left. Very nice. Great. Now let's take it to the next level, which is to keep good posture throughout. I'm going to do two things. One is I want you to keep your shoulder aligned with your hip as you move through this. And that keeps us rotating rather than twisting. I mean, if you think about it, sometimes a stressful situation is when something we've said or something someone else has said gets twisted away from the truth. So we want to maintain our truth and our good posture and our center. And we do this through our physical movement. So by keeping your shoulders and your hips aligned, you rotate and you maintain a strong center and a strong core so that you cannot get pushed around. And so go ahead and move and keep your shoulder over your hips. That's it. And not twisting. You don't need to add a little bit more. Just only rotate as far as you can go, as comfortable, and your hips and shoulders remain aligned. And you can feel your center and your core. Yeah, love that. Great. You want to keep your arms bent and soft and not too high. So if we have our arms up high and our joints locked, then we're not very flexible and the energy is actually coming back at us. So we're very easily toppled over. So from a stressful standpoint, the more rigid we are, the more we're pushing back against the stressor, the more it really just comes right back at us and escalates our stress. So let's just soften your arms, bring them down to chest height. And when you do that, that actually lowers your cortisol and has a direct impact on your autonomic nervous system. It also drops your breathing down into the belly breathing or abdominal breathing, which we don't want to force that or try to focus on that, but by simply bringing our arms down to chest height and by keeping your joints soft and not rigid, it helps to drop us out of that fight or flight system and more into what's called the sympathetic nervous system, which is the calming system. So let's try it once again, implementing that good posture, those two things. Rotating, keeping your center, and keeping your elbows soft and below chest height. Yeah, good. Hopefully it's feeling a little bit better, a little different for you, and you can feel that your breath is dropping down lower. And it's becoming more comfortable. And you're also more aware, you're more centered, more aware of your own center. Very nice. Now I hope you'll stay with me because this is good stuff. So let's go on to the next concept in this, and that is making that mind-body connection and really getting our mind out of the body. So you think about it, stressors are, or stress is pretty intangible. It's all that stuff out there, but it really has an impact on our autonomic nervous system and on our health and on our whole mindset. So what we need to do, ironically, is to connect our mind-body and to calm our mind, is to get our mind out of our body. So this time when we're moving through ward off, what I want you to do is to put your mind in the space. So we want to get out of the space of stress and into a different space. And that space, when we put our mind in the empty space, then that space represents potential. Potential for a different outcome that we've never thought of before. So let's go ahead and calm our mind, quiet our mind, by placing our mind in the space between our hands, between our forearms, our upper arms, across our chest, and in the space that's all around you. So here we are, resting your arms below chest, and move to your right, and just place your awareness in the space between your fingers, your hands, your arms, and your upper arms across your chest. And now feel the space all around you and how your body occupies that space. Yeah, nice. And if you happen to start feeling some tingling or warmth, then that's Qi, Q-I, and that has healing properties and can also have a direct impact on your cortisol and your autonomic nervous system, calming you down. Okay, good. Now let's take it another level. So now I want you to move as though you can feel that the air around you is thick. So that you're moving through a viscous substance. Feel the resistance of it as you move through that space. Once again, it helps you to make that mind-body connection. Feel it, the thickness of it. Very good. Nice. So we've gone from just physically moving through it to establishing good posture, a good center, to being able to place our mind elsewhere other than all of the yucky stuff in our body that's resulting from the stress. And now what I want to do is create a metaphor for you so that as we move through ward off, you can imagine that you're warding off all of the stress or stressors in your environment. You're not shoving them away, okay? You're gently just rolling it away. And now Tai Chi is never just about one thing at a time. So what I want you to think of is that the inside arm, in other words, the direction you're going, is rolling away the stressors and the stress. And while the outside arm is drawing in the positives, courage and strength and perspective, elevated emotions such as joy and gratitude, healthy relationships, so you could be gently rolling away unhealthy or toxic relationships and drawing in healthy relationships. So as we're rolling away the negative, we're accepting and receiving the positive. Keep your arms below chest height. That's right. And if you aren't in a mindset for knowing what the positive is, that's okay. Just put your imagination in that in the possibilities, in the open space. Yeah, so just put your mind in the space between your hands. So you're rolling away, pressing away the negative, pushing away that stress while opening yourself up to be filled with the opposite of whatever that stress is. Calmness. So very simply pushing away stress and receiving calm. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Good. All right. Now, the last piece, which happens to be my favorite, and sometimes I do this before I go to sleep at night, is I'll practice a movement without moving. And the benefits are still the same. So if we're doing ward off to decrease our stress and to have a positive impact on our autonomic nervous system, then we can do it just in our mind and have that same effect. This becomes particularly handy when you have to go into a situation of stress, say a confrontation or a meeting or something unpleasant. Then you can, as that stress or stressor is coming at you, you can just be standing there, and in your mind, you're going through that movement. You're not moving, but you are moving internally. And it will be effective, just as effective as you actually moving through it, and no one even knows that you're doing it. I love it because it's covert. You know, you could be even sort of just kind of giggling inside because they don't know what you're doing. And that's terrific too, because humor and anxiety cannot coexist. So let's just practice that. I know it seems kind of odd, but I think when we practice a skill, then we can go to it more easily. So what I would like for you to do is just imagine a stressful situation. I hate to put you there, but you see how your mind, just thinking about it, already your nervous system responded. Well, let's practice tamping that down and being able to dissipate that cortisol with simply imagining you moving through this movement. So you're sitting in that situation. You can imagine that stress or the stressor or person or situation, and then just begin moving through ward off. And imagine that you're gently pushing away or rolling away the stress and receiving calmness, courage, strength, centeredness, and the power or empowerment to overcome. So you just imagine that you're moving through that form, warding off and receiving at the same time. Yeah. So the last piece that I encourage you to do is to preempt your space. And what that simply means is that if you know you're going to be going into that stressful situation, then imagine that you are taking the space in that room or in that situation. And you're taking that space by expanding and warding off. And you're doing it ahead of time. So if you know you're going to be running into a stressful situation, then maybe do ward off really big and grandiose a couple times before you enter that room or that stressful space. And just by doing that, by preempting your space, you're changing your energy. And so that when you really do walk into that room, the outcome can change. It will be different than if you hadn't done this prior. So don't forget that you have this powerful but simple one Tai Chi, Qigong exercise movement called ward off that can work towards pushing away your stress and receiving those elements you need to overcome the stress. And that you can do that whether you're moving through it physically or simply in your mind. Great. Thank you